Welcome, everyone. This is going to be Eden Zero, Chapter 105, Dragonfall. And for the title page, we have Witch in a witch outfit. And also, she's got a panther as well. It looks like a cameo for Panther Lily from Fairy Tale and is in like a proper panther form anyway. But she does look pretty boss in this title page. So let's get into the chapter, Dragonfall. So I guess the reason why it's called Dragonfall is because of all these dragons that are circulating around the space area. Anyway, and that's pretty crazy to say that, how many dragons there are just flying around in space, you know. And another theme of Hiro Mashima, he loves his dragons anyway. And there are so many of them. Please don't get excited. So the only way to get past all the dragons is to go at full speed, and they're kind of like a school of fish in a sense, you know, but they're dragons, so it's quite majestic. And yeah, so they're coming up with the plan to know how to get across, but because we know that the Edens once came through earlier and we're on their trail kind of thing. So we can see the destruction they've actually left and all these dead dragons. You can just see what a mass destruction, you know, just also showing us how strong the Edens one is anyway. But so the dragons aren't as strong as they were in Fairy Tale because dragons were the what do you call it, the dominant species in Fairy Tale. But if all these dragons are dying, I don't think they're as dominant as they are in Fairy Tale. All right, but nevertheless, all these dead dragons, and I gotta say, this one panel looks pretty amazing. You know, just seeing this floating debris of mechanical dragons in space, and as they're heading through, some of the other dragons that are still alive start attacking the Eden Zero because they think they're the ones that killed all the other dragons anyway. So it's kind of become quite dangerous now because now they're being pursued by quite a lot of dragons, and yeah, it's going to be quite crazy. Now they got to fight against the dragons, and we see everyone getting into the turret gears, especially Rebecca, Weiss, and Homer anyway. And yeah, uh, it's quite. I don't know. I gotta say, Homura looks pretty different in her I'm gonna call it a space suit anyway. You know, it looks very different to what she usually wears anyway. And I did like this one panel anyway, where she starts shooting and she completely misses, and we've got Jin coming over and just pushes her aside, and her facial reaction in that panel is quite hilarious. You know, just to see that she's been pushed aside, and then we kind of get Jin getting involved with the crew, so that's kind of nice to see a bit of potential. You know, showing a bit of chemistry. Maybe he'll decide to stay with his sister on a crew, but I don't know. I feel like currently they're just temporary members. Considering the fact that the crew size has almost doubled anyway in the last few chapters, I have a feeling they might not stay, but probably 70%, in my opinion, 70% chance that Jin and his sister Cleany will stay, will actually leave, and there's a 30% chance I believe they would stay, but more likely they would leave. But nevertheless, it was nice to see this little interaction, and Homura's reaction was completely I mean, was priceless anyway. Her reaction to that situation anyway, and that was pretty funny anyway. And I do like this little relationship, the dynamic between Cleany and Homura, and the way she just kind of like hugging Homura was pretty funny anyway. And I also found it quite funny when Homer is like, "Oh my god, Jin's got a sister complex." You know, a bit of humor in the chapter, which I did find quite hilarious. You know, that concept of a sister complex, anyway. And apart from that little bit of humor, we also learned that these turrets can also transfer your ether and customize your bullets. And we see when Rebecca uses her cat leaper powers into the bullets, it turns into a machine gun, and when Jin uses it, turns into a lot of air as well. And with Weiss, he can just remodel it into anything, and he just makes a massive net instead, which is quite efficient in capturing the dragons actually. And we also see Shiki use his thing, and I gotta say, damn, like Shiki, he went all out because we can see him use his overdrive mode, and he creates kind of like a black hole cannon which sucks all the dragons in. And with that, they managed to actually get away from all the dragons and they go into outer space. So that was pretty nice. And they enter this sea, a sea in space. And I'm gonna say it looks pretty majestical. All of this, you know, like it's quite an alien concept to have like a sea in space, and you know, it's quite creative. And they kind of get from they kind of get caught into the current, and just seeing these aquatic animals in space is pretty crazy to say the least. And also it looks like the universe they're entering might be the one that Connor came from, because he did say he's from the sea cosmos anyway, where there's a lot of fish. So, and that could have been a foreshadowing to the arc that is going to come anyway. And what more is, this creature looks terrifying. It looks like this massive whale shark, and it looks pretty yeah, it looks terrifying indeed. And I do like the design of this and just the pure size of this thing. And I don't know, I just find it kind of terrifying. You know, just you're just floating around this space and you see this massive sea monster about to eat you. And just look at the scale difference as well. Oh my goodness, that is quite terrifying indeed. It is quite funny to see Shiki say that's awesome when they almost got eaten, and everyone else is, everyone is pretty much worried. And with this, they are now in the owl cosmos, which probably means blue cosmos, if I am correct. And we see a lot more planets as well, so it's kind of interesting to see this new planet. And I'm looking forward to what adventures lie in the owl cosmos. But yeah, that was quite nice to see a bit of what do you call it, exploration into deep space, and it's very dangerous. And yeah, it was very nice to get a little glimpse of what space is outer space like in this universe. But so I thought this was quite a good chapter and a bit of an introductory. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what the Owl Cosmos has in store for us. And I really liked that this chapter was mainly focused on the crew just exploring, kind of builds up the world and what the world's like. So that I thought this chapter was pretty decent, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter. And that's all for me. Bye.